What's going on, guys, and welcome to part 8 of the series of building Netflix app from scratch using Swift 5 and UIKit. In this part, we're going to leave the home view controller for now, and instead we'll be working with the upcoming tab. So without further ado, let's just fire up Xcode. So let's go to the upcoming view controller over here, and first thing that we need to do is just to set the title. So let me just type title. I'm going to set that to upcoming. And over here, I'm just going to type navigation controller, navigation bar, prefers large titles, and I'm going to set that to true. Navigation controller dot navigation item dot large title display mode, and I'm going to set that to always as well. So right now, let me just create a new table. I'm going to call that upcoming table. So private let upcoming table. Let me just type that correctly. Upcoming table. That's going to be a UI table view. I'm going to set that with the anonymous closure. We used that so many times at this point in the series. So let me just type table. I'm going to say UI table view. I'm going to register a normal cell for now. So register UI table view cell self. I'm going to set the identifier to be cell. And don't forget to return that table. I'm going to add that table to my view. So view.addSubView upcoming table. I'm going to set the delegate for the table view here as well. So upcoming table delegate is going to be equal to self. Upcoming data source is going to be equal to self as well. I'm going to extend the controller, so extension upcoming view controller. I'm going to set that UI table view delegate and the upcoming for the data source as well. So UI table view data source. I'm going to implement the two functions over here. So basically return 10 for now. And for this, I'm going to return the delegate function, which is the cell for row. So let's just create a new cell. So let cell is going to be equal to table view. Not that one, so table view dot dq with identifier and 4. So let me just type here cell index. For now, I'm just going to say text label dot text. I'm going to set that for test right now, and let me just go ahead and return my cell. So that should be working. So right now, I'm going to hit run, and let me see what I get so far. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the home view controller. Nothing has changed. Let me just go to the coming soon, and as you can see here, I have my upcoming title, and when I scroll, there's nothing to be scrolled at right now because we haven't laid the table yet. So let me just go ahead and implement that function. So did lay subview. I'm going to say super.view did layout subview upcoming table. Let me just say that upcoming table dot frame that is going to be equals to view dot bounds. Let me hit run one more time. All right, so as you can see here, we have the title, we have our 10 cells ready. So right now, let me just reuse the function that we've used earlier in the upcoming, or I'm sorry, in the home view controller. So let me just create a new function over here. So private func fetch upcoming, and I'm going to implement that function. So I'm going to call the API caller dot shared get upcoming movies, and I'm going to switch on the results. So switch result, and I'm going to type in here case success. Let me just retrieve those titles. Okay, and in here I'm going to assign that to a local variable that I'm going to call titles as well. So let me just go up in here, private var titles. That is going to be an array of title. I'm going to initialize that array, so that is going to be empty for now. All right, and over here, just to avoid any memory leaks, so I'm just going to type weak self. And over here, I'm just going to reference that back. So basically self dot titles, that is going to be titles. And over here as well, I'm just going to reload the data. So self.upcomingTable.reload data, and I'm just going to put that inside an async function so that we make sure that is going to be executed on the main thread. So let me just type dispatch queue.main.async, and I'm going to add that line of code in here so that we don't get any errors. Let me just go back in here at the number of rows. I'm going just to return titles.count, and over here I'm just going to set that one more time over here. Let me just type titles. Let me just see here. Yeah, titles. Okay, I'm going to access the index path of row, and as you can see here, what do we have? Okay, something is wrong. Oh, I'm sorry, this is we just misspelled the word, so we have it right now. So titles, let me just fix that as well. So titles, and let me just go ahead one more time, and as you can see here we have the original name, and since this is an optional, we can say a default value, which is basically going to be also titles index path.row, and I'm just going to access the original title, and if neither of those available, I'm going to assign that to unknown, and let's hope that we don't actually reach to that point. And let me fix the error up here because I have a misspelled word. So return titles.count, and I believe everything is done right here. Oh, we have to basically handle the other case, which is going to be the failure. Let me just retrieve the error over here. It's really easy tutorial, to be honest. I'm going to just print the error, not localized description. All right, build and run, and let me see what do I get so far. And as you can see here, I get nothing. Why? Because actually we have created the function, but we forgot to call the function itself. So let me just paste in that here. Let me call the function, and let me hit build and run, and let me see what do I get so far. All right, so basically I have a list over here. It has all the names for each title, and basically the thing that we need to do right now is just we need to create a custom cell so that we preview the title. We want to preview the play button, and also we wanted to preview the poster for the cell. So let me just go back to my views. Let me just create a new file that is going to be a Cocoa Touch class. I'm going to create actually a UI table view cell. Let me call that maybe title table view cell. All right, and for the language, I'm just going to make sure that it's going to be created with Swift. All right, so let me create this. So right now I have an empty cell, so let me just type the static let identifier, and that is going to be the name of the class that we have. So title table view cell. Let me just paste in that in here. Let me initialize that with the normal constructor. I'm sorry. So I'm going to pass the style and the reusable identifier as well. And over here, I'm just going to add the other required initializer. I'm going to say fatal error. And over here, I'm just going to implement the views that I'm going to create. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just going to have a UI image so that it holds the poster for the title that we retrieved from the server. So let me just type private let title poster UI image view, which is going to be the type. I'm going to use the same anonymous closure, so let image view, that's going to be an image view. All right, so image view dot content mode, I'm going to set that to maybe yeah, scale aspect fit. image view. Yeah, I'm going to return the image view for now. Okay. Basically we need to add this for the cells, so let me type content view.add some view. I'm going to add the title poster UI image view. All right. Next thing that we need is just a label that it's going to hold the title name. So let me just type private let title label. Not titles, it's only title label, and that is going to be a type of UI label. All right, so let label is going to be equal to UI label. I'm going to return the label for now, and if we need to do anything, we're going to add that later. So let me just yeah, I'm going to basically use the content auto layout, so I'm going to activate that. So label dot translates auto resizing masking into constraints. I'm going to set that to false. I'm going to use that as well with the image view. So instead of label, I'm going to type image view. I'm going to add the label to my content view as well. So content view dot add some view title label. What do I need next? I believe it's going to be a button. So let me just type in here private let play title button. This is going to be a UI button. I'm going to initialize that. So let button is going to be UI button. I'm going to return that button as well, but I'm going to activate the auto layout attribute. So basically button dot translate auto resizing mask, it's false. I'm going to run that, or call that to be exact, and also I'm going to add that to my content view, add some view. I'm going to add my button over here. Alright, so basically make a new function over here. I'm going to call that apply constraints. Alright, so let me just go ahead and create that function. So private func create constraints, and the first constraint that I'm going to have is basically the poster and the title label and also the button. So let me just type in here let I'm going to copy the name of this variable over here. I'm going to add constraints as well. So constraints, that's going to be an array. Let me copy that one, paste that one more time. So basically I'm going to constrain the leading anchor to be constrained with the content view dot leading anchor as well. I'm going to set the top anchor to be constrained with the I believe it's going to be with the content view as well, with this going to be the top anchor. I'm just going to add some margin at top. Maybe it's going to be 15 points. All right, titles, poster image view dot bottom anchor dot constrain also to the content view dot bottom anchor. I'm just going to reverse that to be -15. And for the width, so let me just choose maybe 100 point. And over here I'm just going to activate this constraints. Okay, and also I'm going to create oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the separator over here. I'm just going to create a public function. I'm going to call that configure with model. I'm just going to pass the view model over here. There's going actually to hold the poster, the label, and that's it, I guess. So basically let's type title, title view model. We don't have this yet. So basically let's just choose the image view that we have and as the set image with the URL. And over here I'm just going to add this URL. So let URL, I'm sorry, guardlet URL is going to be a URL. I'm going to call that with a string over here. So basically I'm going to pass model.poster URL. Alright, so else return. Okay, and I'm going to pass the URL over here. For the completion, I'm going to pass nil. And what else do we need to do? Basically, we just need to set the title as well. So basically, title label dot text, that is going to be from our model title name. Okay, I'm just going to change the Pascal this. Okay, so title name. So let me just go to my view model over here. Let me create a new file. This is going to be a Swift file, and let me just type title view model. Alright, that is going to be a structure title view model. Let me just type let title name. That is going to be a string, and let poster URL, that's going to be a string as well. Alright, so I guess that's it for now. So let me just make sure that we have everything set up over here. The poster path is a string as well, so we can go back to my title table view. This error is going to go away right now. So basically we have our cell setup. Let's just complete adding the constraints. So I'm going to copy that because it's title label. It's a good practice actually to have a consistent naming convention. So title label constraints. All right, that's going to be equal to an array of constraints. So basically title label dot leading anchor dot constraints. I'm going to add that next to the poster. So basically poster title poster image view dot trailing anchor, and that is going to be next to the poster by maybe 20 points. All right, so title label dot center y, I'm going to constrain that with the cell itself. So basically content view dot center y anchor. I believe that's it for the constraints for the labels. So let me just activate this constraints as well. So ns layout activate title label constraints. And okay, so let me just go back to my upcoming view controller. Instead of just registering a normal cell, let me just type title table view cell. I'm going to access the identifier. So title table view cell dot identifier. And over here, I'm just going to dequeue this cell. So let me just type guard let cell is going to be equal to table view dot dequeue for the identifier title table view cell dot identifier for the index path as title table view cell. Else I'm going just to return a normal cell for now, UI table view cell. Alright, and over here I'm just going to access that. So cell, as you can see here, we have the configure. The configure expects to have a title view model. So let me just give that to the function. So it expects the title name and the title poster, and we can easily access that using the titles array that we have, index path dot row, and over here you can see basically we can actually define that over here. So title is going to be titles dot index path dot row, and over here I'm just going to add the title dot original title, maybe if it's not there, so title dot original name. And for the poster URL, I'm just going to access the title as well, and I believe it's here under the path dot the poster path. And actually I'm going to return that cell, And before I hit run, I just discovered that we are only adding the path after the URL. So I'm going to copy that from the view that we made earlier at the home view controller. But that yeah, that needs to be unwrapped first. But for now we can just add or fix that with the normal over here. So basically we just need to add the default value as well, so unknown title name. So let me just go back to my collection table view cell, I believe. Basically let me just, yeah, basically I'm going to copy that line over here. Right, and let me just go back to my title table. Let me just go to the line that I'm going to set the URL. So let me just paste that in here. Copy this model.poster URL. Instead, I'm going to add this model.poster URL. Let me just delete that. I believe we have everything set up over here. Let me just hit run and let me see what do I get. I believe that there's an error. Let me just see what is the error over here. Yeah, basically we just need to add a default value, which is going to be an empty string. Let me type build and run. Coming soon. And yeah, there's something wrong with the with the cell, but clearly we see here the title, the poster, and basically we just need to fix the height of the row. So let me just type in here row height, or height for row. Let's just return maybe 90. Let me just build and run one more time. Let me see what do I get. Coming soon. All right, so we're getting somewhere. So I believe I'm just going to modify or just play around with the numbers over here. So yeah, I believe that is okay. All right, so we can actually increase that maybe to 140. Let me see what do I get at the end. So let me just go back in here. Yeah, it's getting better and better. You can just play around with this. Let me just add the button over here. I've made the button, I believe. So let me just make sure that I have the cell over here. So title, table, view cell. I have the button. Let me just go and set the image. And this is going to be a system image. I believe it's going to be play.circle. And this is going to be for normal right now. Adding this, so let me just add the constraints for that as well. So let me just copy the name. Let me just over here create new constraints for that button. Okay, and I'm going to set the trailing anchor to be exact. So the trailing anchor is going to be set from the constraint actually with the trailing anchor of the cell itself. So let me just content view dot trailing anchor, and I'm going to add a constant which is going to be -20. I'm going to add the constraints to fix it at the middle of the cell as well. So center y anchor is going to be constrained with the content view dot center y anchor as well. I'm just going to activate this. So activate play title button constraints. So let me just hit build and run, and let me see. All right, we're getting much closer to the finished product. Let me just go back in here. Let me just button dot tint color, that is going to be white. And actually I'm going to change the size of the image. So let me just get the image over here. So let me just copy that. All right, so I have the image. And over here, I'm just going to say with configuration UI image. Okay, dot symbol configuration, I believe. Yeah, and over here I can just change the point size, maybe 40, and let me pass the image over here. Let me build and run, and let me see what do I get. Okay, yeah, basically that's it. So I'm just going to play around with the size of the button as well over here. So yeah, basically that's it. So that's it for this tutorial. So we managed to finish the upcoming tab for now. So if you like this video, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to my channel. It would mean a lot to me. So again, that was Amr, and please have a good day and stay safe.